Isn't this one?
So, are we interviewing the devil?
Are we interviewing Satan himself? Satan? We can. Let me get a hold of him real quick. He's not answering his phone. Oh, ridiculous. Why does he give me his private number and then not pick up? What a bastard.
Wasn't it 666?
Yes, 666-9340. No, that's my phone number. That's not the devil.
Okay, so yeah, Jeremy's going to tell us the history of the little guy with horns.
Of the devil. All right. Well, now I'm sure that since a good third of the planet knows Christian myth and Hebrew myth, Lucifer was a fallen spirit. He was the angel of light of the highest order, as close as you could possibly get to God, and he had a disagreement with God in relation to management of the beings on earth that were made, and that argument caused the devil to have dominion over the earth. So he is the ruler of the earth, right? The ruler of the earth. That's God's punishment to him.
That's
that he gets to rule
the
us.
Christian legend.
Yes, yeah.
Because what I've seen is pre-Hebrew. There was the hunting god.
Okay.
And they would have their rituals with the hunting god during, the springtime festivals, and the hunting god, would wear usually a deer outfit with the horns.
That's true, the horned god.
Yes, so that was the pagan ritual, and then the Hebrews took that and turned it into to
an extent, the Christians of American history did that to the Native Americans here. They were worshiping devils as well.
Yeah.
Because they weren't worshiping Christianity, obviously. They were worshiping devils, So,
yeah.
I mean, at this point, the devil shouldn't just have horns, but he should have a big feather thing going there with the way the Native Americans had that.
Yeah. And
headdress.
Yeah, and lots of religions have different horn gods.
Yeah.
But it's not, the little guy with the tail, and we thought we would talk about this because there's a lot of erroneous thinking that psychics work for the devil. A true psychic is out to help another person.
Oh yeah.
So that's the full purpose.
I have been confronted by people that say I'm a devil worshiper, and I'm like, I don't even know the guy. And even if I did, I probably would give him the cold shoulder and act like he wasn't important, even though he was the Lord of Darkness. Who cares?
Yes.
Lord of Darkness, indeed.
Yeah, interesting that it's a lot of the priests and the preachers are the ones who are harming
doing the sins,
children, and molesting and stuff.
Yeah.
And so you wonder, who do they really worship?
Yeah, you do wonder that. Oftentimes it looks like the devil in disguise, really.
Yep.
So the first song that I picked is well recognized as far as it goes, and I almost don't want to mention the songs because of the copyright issues. Putting some of this on for our conversation online. I don't want to mention.
Sure.
But this song does have a little bit of comedy to it, in that what it mentions is all the things that, depending on what country you're from, maybe in that circumstance, the devil wasn't such a bad guy. Maybe we should give him a little bit of opportunity. I mean, maybe. And as a matter of fact, I do know my grandfather, my grandmother almost stopped talking to me about this because she thought I was being rebellious against the family and stuff. But when Hitler was being attacked by all the Virginians, the Americans from Virginia that were fighting in the Battle of the Bulge, he called them the Red Devils because they were Christian too. The Germans were Christian just because they were Nazi. So the devil sometimes comes in disguise.
No, because they were anti-religious.
That's true. They were Enlightenment stuff.
They were, well, the Nazis. They were anti-religious. They believed in being atheists.
Well, they definitely called the fighting Virginian regiments the Red Devils. They even took the nickname home. It's on a little patch. It's got a little devil on it and everything with
That's
like a
funny.
little gun. Yeah. Like if you go to the 82nd Airborne Museum at Fayetteville, North Carolina, there's a big thing about them there because they were at the Bulge. So
heard about Einstein, and he had a student ask him if he believed in God. And Einstein replied, do you believe in darkness? And the student says, yes. Well, the darkness is the absence of light. And he said, do you believe in cold? Oh, yes. The cold is the absence of warmth. And he said, well, do you believe in evil? And the student then said, yes, the evil is the absence of good. And that's always stuck with me because, you know, my belief is just believe in good. And
no harm.
the absence of it, the absence of good and caring and all that is like, it can be neglect or harming, and that is, you know, how you can tell of what nature.
There are gray things.
There are some. Yeah.
What about a white lie?
Yep.
See,
they're
a white
necessary.
lie
Yeah.
it's necessary evil. You just don't want to hurt somebody's feelings,
right?
So you don't tell them the full story or whatever the case may be. Like
to protect yourself or somebody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right.
Well,
in a harmless way that
Yeah.
would cause more harm by knowing the reality of whatever it is. Like, oh no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. But yeah, that really was $1,000 vase or whatever.
Yeah.
Grandma would freak out if she knew she broke $1,000 vase. So it's like, no, Gran, that's no big deal.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. That there are other balance problems in answering a question about what's good and what's evil. And some of that is harmful to some people, like the death penalty.
Yeah.
How is killing someone for killing someone right? Because of the eye for an eye thing, maybe, or something. But it's things like that that can be argued for what is seemingly evil but not. And earlier you had mentioned to me about, like, why is it that babies die and why is it that harmful things happen with abuse and all? Those aren't things God's letting happen. It's a balance. There's two forces in the world. I think, and truthfully, it just seems to measure out that way. For every good thing, there's a bad thing. For everything that happens that we think, oh, that was good that happened, there is something that comes out on the other side. One side or the other will never admit to the fact that they're both going to be on par with each other. You know, the devil's like, oh, I got this. Everybody's coming to hell, right? You're all going to follow me. It's all bikinis and hot leather down here, y'all. And then God's like, nobody listen to the devil. Everybody's coming to heaven. The pearly gates are open. You're all safe. So it's like this whole argument the whole time. So I think that's perpetually be balanced.
That's a funny way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Which I've come to realize that you know, since we're all vibrational energy, and everybody's on a different vibrational learning curve.
Yeah.
Like, but you can tell somebody who is a very low vibration. You know, you can tell in their countenance and their speech, and I'm surprised by some people. They will see someone who says terrible things and does terrible things, but they don't recognize them as terrible.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are religious people, and they will look at, like, say, a politician that has been very popular in the last few years, and he talks terribly about people and is racist and is nasty and mean and does things that are nasty and mean, and yet people don't recognize him for the true evil person that he is.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in a little devil guy with the horns, but
An
it
orange
definitely
guy.
is evil.
An orange guy with Playboy
blonde
bunny
hair.
ears.
Uh-huh.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But with the devil is just an absence of spirit and an absence of light. So and
Yeah.
Dante had everyone was in hell in Dante's Inferno except for atheists. There were no atheists in Dante's hell. How could that be? Since atheism is the defiance of God, because the word atheism and not believing in God, that wasn't even a concept in the year 1300. It wouldn't have dawned on anybody to not believe in God back then. You were either a devil worshiper or you loved God. Crazy, right? Yeah, I know. It's not. Well, that's what he had written down. Let me get another song on here real quick though, so we can at least have some airtime with music, I guess.
You really do have to choose though in your life and make a conscious effort on a daily basis to, try to recognize what's good and how to be the right person and doing the right things and practice, trying to be your best.
Well, how come when I was a little kid, people would say that I had the devil in me? What does that mean?
That
does that mean that I played too rough on the playground?
Oh,
does that mean that I didn't come in when lunch break was over or something? I mean, come on. What are they talking about? I was the one running away from the little girls, not the other way around. So hilarious.
Love it.
All right. Okay, we're back. I guess that song was over. That was interesting. All right. So back to the devil.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about how silly it is for somebody to worship the devil. Like, he's not going to do anything for you. He's not going to help you with anything. He's going to bring death and destruction. And just the sheer idea of somebody worshiping that, they are headed towards destruction.
Now, Anton LaVey and his version of Satanism was really about the self, right? And his argument was that it's not Satanism as in you're worshiping Satan, but Satanism is the not having deity attached, you're worshiping you, right? That's what made it Satanism in his eyes. Really, it was just an anti-Christianity argument, but he just had to come up with a cool way of putting in stuff. So for me, being pro-Satanist is just an anti-church argument. It's almost like every Satanist thing that's ever come up hasn't come up with a more elaborate argument than just that it's just not church that they're into. It's like they want to not be church.
Well, so when I lived in a different place, I was at a family housing for students, and the head RA, she was a heavy woman who, dyed her hair black and wore black makeup. This is about 20 years ago, but she was a self-proclaimed devil worshiper. And she had tattoos of the 666 and stuff, and she said that she that she'd get pregnant and then she'd sacrifice the babies. And we don't know how much is true or not, but that lady was spooky.
Well, there is black magic out there. There are people that do try to do that intended, but there are dark forces,
Yeah.
But
it's not all one energy.
Battle with it. No, right, exactly. And that energy morphs just as much as the rest of it. I put it this way: pure white light shining right into your eyes. That's all you see, right? In order for that white light to have color, for you see red and orange and yellow, green, blue, purple, is there has to be a diffusion of the light. The light has to decay a little bit. There has to be a little entropy to the light. It has to change its harmony so you see these other colors. So without a loss of the light, you wouldn't have the dynamics that we have. So there's this waffling of energy between positive and negative forces at all times of the day, everywhere in reality.
That is a universal law, is the duality of forces.
Right.
However, people like ask me a lot. They say, you know, well, why, if there's angels and stuff, then that can protect us, then why are like little kids and, you know, getting harmed, or, you know, women getting raped? And there's terrible things. There are some terrible, terrible, evil things, because there are evil forces in this realm. And on the other side, there is also, I think, a battle in a sense, but it's separated by vibrational energy.
Yeah. Now, I think the reason that there are oppositions and the reason that good and evil are constantly fighting is because there's certain parts of human nature that need to exist, and there has to be a melding or a merger between the two. The argument that there are evil people in the world means there's an argument that you need a soldier. You need soldiers in the world to fight these bad forces, right? And then the bad forces are like, we're not bad. We need soldiers over here to fight these bad forces that are coming at us. So you have two different energies arguing with each other on that. And that's a part of the human condition. I think we have to have some argument in order to grow.
I would say that's true. So if you look at Hitler, Hitler's war was pure evil, and there's so many leaders that throw out, you know, they create genocide for a cause,
right?
And that is evil in itself. Or how many Christians have actually slayed Jews and Muslims and all that over the years,
right?
Especially during the Dark Ages.
Do you know
in
the term
the name
eugenics?
Of Jesus, and they're actually doing evil.
Yeah. Do you know the word eugenics? That's what Hitler practiced.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's right. Where your DNA race, or your you know, you have Down syndrome, so therefore you're a genetic anomaly, and we got to get rid of you. That's eugenics. Like the state of North Carolina practiced eugenics all the way up until I was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So evil is relative in that sense of the word. There's always something to oppose when it comes to the evil forces out there.
But it's not completely relative, because, you know, evil is evil when you're hurting someone.
That's true. There are a lot of harmful things. There's no, I think what it boils down to often enough, it's the opposing will on somebody is often easily seen as the evil or the devil. And when I say devil, I don't mean red-skinned, horned guy with perfect teeth. Always perfect teeth, though. The devil has perfect teeth every time. Even on TV, he's got perfect teeth.
Even in the UK?
Yes, even the British devil.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Well, maybe not. The North Irish devil's all kinds of out of whack over there. That guy. Don't listen to me. Gotta watch out for those North Irish devils. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but we can agree that the devil is a fictional character that is supposed to be symbolic of evil.
Of evil, right? It's a metaphor. It really is a metaphor, even all the way back to when, you know, the snake. We think of the snake in the Garden of Eden as the devil, but really it was just a snake back then. That was an evil creature in the story. It wasn't that he was the devil. You know, he was just an evil creature. So it's that kind of thing. Are you ready for the last song?
Oh yeah, I can say though, to add to that, you know, fear nothing, but always take precaution.
Yeah. Did we get anybody in? Nobody wanted to call in tonight. That's too bad.
But we've got a good recording.
Yeah, and so let's stick to a half an hour so we can have like better back and forth between songs. I think that's better than trying to push this into an hour. And at the beginning of the show, we didn't give our contact information, so now might be the best time to give out the website and all that stuff.
Okay, well, you can contact me at psychicmediumtree.com and
me at Around the Mulberry Bush. Around the Mulberry Bush 9340 is the email with Gmail. Yeah.
Right.
So, all right. Let me go ahead and put on the last tune. I actually had a couple of kind of funny devilly ones. Funny devilly ones. Okay, so I have either Crossroad Blues by Robert Johnson, who everybody knows sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads. That's what gave us rock and roll. If it wasn't for that guy selling his soul to the devil, and Robert Johnson died. They diagnosed him with schizophrenia. He talked to the devil all the time. The devil used to go to him all the time, and you should hear him play. You would think for a minute there, hey. I don't know about the 9th level guy, but I'd go down to the 3rd.
Somebody once sold their soul on eBay.
Yeah.
For like $20,000.
What? That's it? Who was the schmuck that bought that?
Somebody did.
Oh man, that poor sucker. Yeah, he's picking strawberries somewhere in Central Florida. That's what he's doing. That soulless strawberry picking fool. 20 grand. Oh my God, you got to work at McDonald's for that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, I gotta have another double joke in here somewhere. It'll come to me at midnight. It will come to me at midnight.
Georgia.
He is in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want me to give her his address? Or what was it? Damn it, the joke almost worked. You want me to give her address? Because the devil might not be a man.
That's true.
Lives at the wormhole. Anyway, enough of that. We don't need that recorded on the internet. I do have. Can we play him since we just mentioned it? All right, here it goes. Here's our final song for the night, and I'll close it.